Hello, I'm Jill Beck, and welcome to the Go Long Show, where we talk about topics related to women over 40 and how they can live their best lives and whatever that looks like for them. And if you happen to be one of those women over 40, this is a great show that we have for you. I have here Ariana Carps, who is a second generation owner of Rear End, which is a women's clothing boutique in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, which is just outside of Detroit. So, Ariana, welcome to the show.
Thanks. I'm so excited to be here.
All right. Well, tell me your story. Tell me, like, this, you're second generation owner. So, like, I'm sure there's a story here about how your family got into this and how you went into this too.
For sure. So as the story goes, my parents got married in 1977 and they opened the store 1 year later on April 4th, 1978. My dad says he wanted to wear jeans to work, and my mom had graduated with plans to become a teacher and couldn't get a job. And so they happened into this and it became their passion. As a result, my passion. I had spent my whole life in the store, started working here as a paid employee at 14. Um, and started doing it full time at 20. So I absolutely love this. We're a women's clothing store. I always say when you're shopping with us, I want it to be like shopping with your best friend or your sister, a truly honest experience where you get help and you don't leave. Someone's out telling you everything looks good on you when not everything looks good on anyone.
I love that because, as a woman of a certain height or lack thereof, right? Like on a good day, my hair will make me 5 foot. But there are certain things that just don't look good on my frame. And I would rather you just tell me what looks good for my height and my body type than blowing sunshine at my ass.
For sure, there's nothing worse than you've had a salesperson who's like, "This looks amazing, you have to," and you get around your friends, they're like, "Oh, is that new?" I don't want that. And there's some parts of fashion that's subjective, right? I could love something on you and you could hate it, or I could love something and your best friend hates it. But we all know when something looks objectively bad. And so I'm all about honesty. I'd rather you leave the store with nothing and come back again than leave with something that looks terrible, never to return again.
This leads me to probably like the first question to open up with is like dressing for your body type, right? So you may have someone who's like tall and lanky, you have someone who's like short and stocky like me, there's people in the middle, and everybody has like different body types. And sizing doesn't really work. Like the thing is that like for me, I don't want to be a size 0. And like clothes for my height are in like size 0 and 2, and I'm just never going to be that person. So talk to me about how someone could get the right kind of help for their body type.
So, we focus here so much on customer service. We're a little bit like Nordstrom used to be that way as a department store, like so many years ago. And I think, with staffing, things have gone away from that. But there are stores like mine everywhere. Find a small boutique where they'll focus and they'll help you. And because if you go online and you're like, this is my size, well, it might be your size one place, but it isn't another place. And then the other thing is, we now, especially with denim, have all this terminology that in a way means nothing. One company's high rise is another company's low rise. So if you're just looking at the buzzwords, there's not a universal, it's not like an inch means this. It's every company sets their own standards for what something might be. So you actually have to dig into the measurements. Do you like a 10-inch rise? Well, then you have to find out what that means for each different brand. And tops, forget it. Like dressy tops, for some reason, run bigger in a long sleeve than they do in a sleeveless. Make it make sense. I can't. I can't.
I never knew that was a thing, but now I'm
I
going to pay attention to that.
pay attention. See, if you go down a size in a long sleeve blouse, you're gonna be like, but why? But then different fabrics, like
Wow.
a poplin, run smaller. So that's why it's so hard. I don't shop online for myself either. I don't trust the process. I find that it's more frustrating getting something you think will be perfect because you looked at it on this size 2, 5'10" model, and you're like, this is great. And then it comes in and it doesn't fit, or on me, my torso is really long. So something that looks great on, all of a sudden it's showing my belly button. I'm good on that,
Right.
So I just think the the crucial thing to me is always finding a place where you can get service.
So you kind of touched upon this a little bit, and a lot of times when people are buying online, they have the size chart link.
Yeah,
And, where you could be like, "Oh, if your bust is 32, you're a medium," or, whatever it is. And so I find it frustrating, and I think there's a reason why Rent the Runway actually allows you to choose 2 sizes when you, rent from them, because the thing is that they know that sizing is definitely kind of like a crapshoot, right?
for sure. Those measurements are a bunch of baloney because if you look at it in a brand, you'll see that it's the same across every top in the brand, or every bottom in the brand. And that just isn't the case. Some things are cut differently, some things are narrower, some things are larger. They're designed that way so brands can access an entire group of people as opposed to, or all ranges of women, as opposed to targeting in on just one kind of woman. And so when you don't see any variation, well, nobody stopped and took the measurements on that top specifically. It gets a
Mhm.
little closer, right? The brand knows themselves, but there's differences. Can I go grab a couple tops to show you really
Yeah, yeah,
quickly?
go ahead, go grab.
I brought Michael Stars. They've been in business for 35 years. We've carried them all 35 years. So I have memories of like crawling through the shirts. No, it's longer. It's like 38 years. Anyway, this is my favorite fabric from them. They call it their Tahoe jersey. It's really soft. It's got this nice drapiness. So I didn't check sizes as I was grabbing. But this is a medium. Please tell me I did it right. Oh my God, I nailed it. It was meant to be. So this is a
Okay.
medium crossover blouse. It's really
Right.
pretty. It's got a nice drapiness to it. This one, people have taken their size or gone down a size. This one, the same fabric, it's a crew neck with a puff sleeve and like a puff here. Really nice. It's a little narrower. Now, this one, nobody's gone down a size. Everyone stayed their true to size, not gone up. And then this one, same fabric again. This has a bubble hem drapiness. More people have gone down a size in something like this so it doesn't feel too full through the body. So that's 3 different tops in the same size, same color, same fabric, and they're all just a little bit different.
That's interesting. I mean, because yeah, you said you showed all that. That's a really great visual for people to like wrap their arms around. So, a lot of what, we deal with as we're going through midlife, depending on when you define midlife, is like your body changes. Whether it's because of perimenopause, whether it's because you've had kids, whether it's just whatever, right? Your body changes and you get attached to a certain size from, because it was like when you were 25 and you thought like you were hot. And I was trying to tell people you're still hot, right? Because you have experience to go along with everything else. But how do you think about this when you're talking to people?
I would much rather be me at 40, the size that I am, than me at 25 chugging sugar-free Red Bulls and smoking a pack a day. So, like, I may have been thinner. I am currently better. Um, I mean,
Wait, you smoked a pack a day, aren't you? Now you're like this avid runner.
yes, exactly. So, I'd rather be shooting for my half marathon than training my body for a, like, 24-hour bar crawl or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I still love a drink. It's not that, but it's a little different. So I'm dressing for a different body than I did back then. My clothes smell better too. Um, so I try and tell people to dress for the body that they are currently. We all have changes. I know that I've gone through it, postpartum twice. Um, Look, perimenopause, if my algorithm is telling me anything, is around the corner. But you have to accept where you're at. And it doesn't mean giving in. But like sometimes we have gained weight and the older we get, the longer it takes to take it off. It's worse if you're trying to squeeze yourself into something that doesn't fit or you're trying to achieve a look that you once had. When you come shopping, try and just be open minded. Try to be accepting and it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that it's zen for everyone. But even as we're trying to make changes, you're going to feel better if you look better for where you are currently. So I do try and tell people just buy for where you are, because so often people ask me things like, well, what happens if I gain 5 pounds? Or what happens if I lose 5 pounds? Will these still fit me? And the answer is, I don't know. But I can't give you a pair of jeans that is going to run the gamut. They're not sweatpants. They're not elastic waist. So let's try and fit you and make you feel good today.
What I love about this is that it's about, because I always tell people come to me and they're like, I want to lose weight. And I always ask, well, why do you want to lose weight? And generally it's because of a lack of confidence in something. And I think that if you fix the confidence problem, other things start to come back to you in a positive way. But if you're just focusing on, I need to fit into X size, then you're not focusing on the root issue. Because if you're kind of squeezing into that size, are you feeling really confident?
And the answer is absolutely not. I mean, I had hip surgery in June, and I am a person who loves movement. And so I had a summer without movement and with fear. And, it's like at the end of the summer, I wasn't feeling my best, but I could start moving again. And, I like look back on pictures. I don't think I looked my best. I got new jeans to help me feel better in that gap time, but it's true. It and I think so much comes, I agree with being confident, with looking in the mirror and feeling like you look good and feeling happy with yourself. I had someone come in the other day. She's 95. She's been shopping here forever. And she was with her daughter, and her daughter said, oh no, she won't go to the mailbox without putting on her full face of makeup. But she felt like that was what was keeping her young and with it. It's whatever it takes to make us feel good, even more so when we're not feeling our best.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of not feeling your best, we talked about like your feed and your algorithm is talking about like perimenopause.
Mhm.
So I can remember there were times where I was at work and holy cow, I'm like, who made this room into a sauna? Like, how did this happen? And of course, I'm sitting there thinking, can people see that I'm sweating? Holy cow, I feel like I'm sweating through my shirt. I had a really embarrassing presentation where we were recording and I had a shirt under a jacket and someone's like, "Oh, you could just take the jacket off." And I'm like, "No, I can't." And so what advice would you give to someone who was in that, I don't know when the hot flash is going to hit and I need to kind of dress appropriately, something other than like a camisole, which may not make someone feel the most confident?
Oh, for sure. Dress with the heat in mind, dress with your layers in mind. So, I just run hot in general. So, I won't wear a fitted camisole, I don't wear anything tight, but, like, here I am, this camisole is loose, and half the day when I was too hot in my leather jacket, I was able to take it off. Let's see, can I get it back on in motion? But this camisole underneath is obviously not work appropriate, but if you wanted to layer, hang on. Heading to my
Yeah.
trusty racks
Right.
again, because
Yep.
I've got a couple great options that jump right to mind. So, here we go. I grabbed Ripley Raider, which is, like, my favorite brand for mix and match Ponte pieces that are dressy or casual. I'm wearing the pants right now. And then
Mhm.
you could throw either of these tanks underneath. This is Michael Stars. This is a satin with a drape neck, or here we have the satin with the rib neck, just like low scoop. They're both totally bra friendly. So if you get hot and they don't hug the body. So if you like start sweating, it's not going to wick the sweat off your body right away. And if you take it off, you're still bra friendly. Nothing's too tight and they still look really nice, especially tucked into a pair of pants or something. Things I avoid are tight. I avoid heather gray. And I just really focus on you want to be able to take off that overlayer because, in fact, if we get flustered, if we get really hot, we're having a hot flash, we're trying to focus on something serious. Well, it's really hard. All you can focus on is one, am I cooking myself from the inside? And two, does everyone know how hot I am currently? So I just think it's important to think about not just the look when you're put together, but the look when you remove a piece.
You know what I love that you just mentioned? So you mentioned heather gray is a bad color. Are there other colors that are more friendly or less friendly? Because this is like real practical advice right here.
Oh, for
We're
sure.
getting into
So
it.
so yes, the nitty-gritty, what to do and what to avoid. Darker colors are always gonna be better. So, like, a white blouse is going to show the sweat more than a black blouse if you take off your overpiece. So I tend to go towards, like, black and navy. Even some browns can be too light in the wrong light. And so that's one thing, and I really like when I'm doing this with people who are really, really struggling with hot flashes, I try and focus on something sleeveless underneath that doesn't feel too bare. Because that I've had one job my whole life. I have no idea what corporate America is actually like. So the other thing I wind up asking people is like, what flies for you and your environment? What is okay in your industry. And even you can find satiny things like this in like a cap sleeve blouse. I don't have any example to run around and grab. So your shoulder is definitely covered should you feel that's important.
So you mentioned kind of the bra aspect of things, which I think is interesting. And I don't know if you sell that or not. It might not be what you sell, but I'm sure you have some experience in terms of the types of bras potentially that look good under certain tops. So maybe we could
Yeah,
talk a little bit about that.
for sure. I don't sell them. Like, my goodness, can you imagine selling bras and blue jeans at once? Like,
That's at
forget
Nordstrom's
it.
for.
Exactly, nervous breakdown city. I really lean heavily into Spanx makes a great fabric bra. It's called the Bralelia, and it's totally seamless. So I wear a lot of thinner t-shirts, and you don't see the line from it underneath. It doesn't grab any extra skin. Similarly, similar to my store, there's a bra store near us that is like they come into the fitting room, they grab their measuring tape. They are experts. They know where to take you in order to find the right bra. I think everyone should have a great t-shirt bra, just something thin that goes under a t-shirt. You probably need a strapless. I know they're not the best, but they come in handy. You don't want to be ruled out or have a bra strap showing. Um, and then maybe one more something pretty. 'Cause why not?
Yeah, why not? No, I mean, definitely, I'm definitely a fan of, when you get, getting measured for like your proper bra size. It's amazing how few women actually do that. And
Yes.
it definitely makes a difference.
Oh my god, 100% putting on the right undergarments. I mean, the same goes for underwear, you know? I after I had kids, getting really personal, was never able to put on a thong again. No idea what changed. A couple of my friends said the same thing. So I wear seamless boy shorts. They, like, feel like nothing, but they don't have lines, you know? As much as I would love to wear granny panties all day, every day, I feel like that's a bad look when you've made fashion your career.
Well, I mean, look, that's a myth too. I mean, one could argue you should wear whatever makes you feel comfortable, right? We were talking about that. But the boy short
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
I like the boy short thing. I rotate through different types, depending on what my mood is. And yeah. So, okay, this has been good so far. So now we've been talking about menopause. So now let's just talk about like, well, I'm in my 50s and I have kids in college, and so I can't wear this anymore.
I get so mad. Okay, here's the deal. Fashion is for everyone. Now, I'm not out here advocating someone who doesn't want to, like, wear a crop top, but I think especially when it comes to bottoms, but really with anything, I mean, I just, like, so heavily focus on denim. All trends are attainable to all people. You just have to find the one that works for you. You often mention that you're not so tall, which is fair, but that doesn't rule you out from like the entire category of wide legs. We just have to find the right one that balances your proportion. Or, I mean, the same thing, my mom is taller than me and with very long legs. She, for the longest time, felt like she couldn't wear short jeans. Well, now she's fully embraced it. I haven't seen her in a pair of pants that don't show her ankles in like 4 years. You just have to open your mind to it, and that's what it comes down to. But don't rule yourself out because you wore it in high school or college or your kids are wearing it. It's okay. You might not get the exact same one or because you're tall or you're short. My best friend is 5 feet tall. I'm 5'8". I say she's the DeVito to my Schwarzenegger because all of the same things fit us. There is nothing looking at the 2 of us that you would think we will wear the same thing, and we do. So it's just about being open-minded to different styles, being open to trying them. But if you walk in and say, "I can't wear that, that's never gonna look good on me," you know what, you're right, because your attitude's not there to find something new. And then you wonder why people say you look dated because 'cause you're in an old style, you're wearing mom jeans, which are cool now, but, like, if we talk about the SNL version of mom jeans, then why are you wearing that? Well, it's because you refuse to open yourself up to a new style.
What I want to talk about is so, like, obviously, COVID has changed a lot of things for people in terms of work attire. And I mean, because even work attire from when I started like 30 plus years ago, and granted, it was on Wall Street, so
Mhm.
super
Mm.
formal, right? But to now, what would you advise someone who's coming in and like maybe they're working from home, they're going to be meeting people later, but how do they feel like they're not just in a pair of Viore sweatpants and a t-shirt every day? Like how can you what advice would you have for someone who's like, I want to feel, like something other than like, okay, I'm in like a top and my Viore sweatpants.
I I think that well, one, pants are so much comfortable than they were more comfortable than they were pre-COVID. Like pre-COVID, we were in only skinny jeans. Now you can get something that is more comfortable, that has better stretch, that you can sit and wear all day. So I think it's all about what you feel good in, especially working from home. You still have to feel like you've made the transition to work. Wake up your mind, wake up your body, wake up your attire. So you don't need to do just Vuori sweatpants and a pretty blouse. That is the one thing. But yeah, it's about finding the right stretch content. Okay. But I'm also going to talk about the pants that I'm wearing because they're my favorite thing. On my Instagram, I talk about them minimum once a week. It's the same brand as the Bolero I showed you. It's Ripley Raider. They're so comfortable, but like they look really good. I got compliments all day on how dressed up I look. So I think it's possible to do that. But you don't need to just wear sweatpants and a blouse like you're never gonna stand up from your screen. I mean, you can get dressed and still be comfortable and shift the day.
So, what is the most underrated part of a wardrobe that can like help someone? If someone's like, I just need something. There's always something underrated out there that you're like, if you have this, this will make your life so much easier, whether it's transitioning from day to night or whatever it is.
Um, oh my god, this is so hard for me. Okay, so probably I would say
Well,
one
I'll give you
perfect
three.
pair.
How about you give me? I'll give you three.
Okay, a perfect pair of jeans, and not just because that's what I do and what I've made my whole life. Um, one great overpiece. So for me, it's always a leather jacket, but it can also be like a great blazer, like the one I showed you before, or like I've got a cool, just easy black suiting blazer right here. This one has buttons on the back. I never knew that. We've had this in the store for a month. Okay, you learn something new every day. But yeah,
I'm
it's
here.
that
We're here to help. Go Long is
yeah,
full service, so we're here to
I'm
help you
here to
on
say
your product.
I know, I can't believe there are 3 buttons back there. You'd think I would have noticed it faster. Oh, and your extra piece can also be like a great cardigan, something like that that you throw on to finish an outfit. And then depending on life, I would maybe say a pair of black pants. Now that doesn't go for everybody. Not everyone needs a black pant. So I think I'm gonna go with the perfect black t-shirt that again will go under your third pieces or with your great new jeans or with things that aren't, but something that you put on that feels really finished. So a polished t-shirt. We're not talking about a Hanes 3 packs that you grabbed from Target.
All right. So the three things are.
Jeans, your third piece, whatever that is that suits your life, a leather jacket, a blazer, a cardigan. I'm lumping those as one, and
Yep.
a perfect black t-shirt. Yeah.
I love
Okay.
that. I love that. I actually don't have a perfect black t-shirt. I do have cardigans, but mostly I have cardigans to wrap around is more of like a thing.
Oh,
And sometimes I'll put it on at the end of the evening, but mostly it's just to like wrap and knot.
okay. It's your aesthetic.
Yeah,
It's
it's my
the yeah.
aesthetic.
Yeah, it works. Honestly, though, that works. It still finishes your outfit. It's, like,
Right.
still serving the same purpose just because mine is over my arms and yours is over your shoulders doesn't make it any difference.
So we haven't talked about accessories yet. And one of the things that I think about with accessories is that accessories, and I'm not really good with accessories, but the thing is that they can like up level your outfit in terms of making it more dressy, or they could just complement the outfit in terms of like, hey, I'm meeting the gals for, brunch or something like that. And, it's like a different type of accessory. How do you think about accessories with the context of the clothes that you sell?
Um, you've hit me in my fashion week spot. I
We
but
can
I can do
edit
it.
this out. We don't have to talk
No,
about this.
no.
I can edit
I
this
no,
out.
we can. No, I look, accessories are my weakness. I admit it. We don't buy a ton for the store because I'm it's just not my strength. But yes, like have your everyday purse that like, oops, you found some crackers in there. Oh, there's the piece of paper from your doctor's appointment 6 months ago. And then have your nice purse that when you wear it, it like feels elevated and also you're not carrying that extra stuff around. So that's one thing. And like so I don't change my jewelry ever, but
Right.
if you add something maybe with a little more sparkle and glam when you're going out, that just again makes you feel a little different, you add that extra piece that changes your mindset. You're like, "Oh, when I put on this necklace, it means I'm going to enjoy myself. When I put on this stack of bracelets, it means I'm going to have a relaxing lunch." Something that just changes your
Yeah.
mindset a bit because clothes can do that. I'm gonna get home. I'm going to put on Michigan State sweatpants, a Michigan State sweatshirt, and, like, a Michigan State beanie because my basement is cold, and that is going to change my mindset into college basketball fan Ariana.
Okay, got it. All right. So we know that you're going to be wearing a lot of hunter green
Yeah.
very shortly.
Yes, exactly.
And cheering
But
on
it
Tommy.
changes my mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess then what is it if there's anything like you mentioned some brands, and I'll message you so we could put the brands in the show notes and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So obviously you're in a suburb of Detroit and you're very passionate about people supporting businesses like yourself. I mean, yeah, there's Google and, people may not know that there are these like really good shops there. Are there certain brands that you feel are really good for this demographic that we're talking about? That there's flexibility in the sizing, it's flattering, it's low maintenance,
Yes, for sure.
and, they just work with people like us. Because there are certain brands that definitely I don't think are geared towards this demographic.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If I was steering you towards one denim brand, it would be Paige. Um, Paige herself is amazing. They've been around for 20 years, and I always feel that they are fashion designed for a real woman. Um, the fits are made they're not inexpensive, but they are the jeans that I can give to anybody and they work. So like that is my number one denim, especially if you want to try a trend. I always feel like they do their trend just the perfect amount. They never take it that bridge too far that makes it crazy unwearable. So they've always been my gateway to a new style for my demographic. As far as T-shirts, Michael Stars will forever be my go-to. I really don't think they make a ton of skimpy and baby and anything like that. I think they're designed with the woman in mind. And I'll say that for some of these brands, if you're looking for a store in your area that carries them, you can go onto their website and they'll give you stockists in the area. But the other thing you can always do, all of these brands are active on social media. If you want to try Page Jeans and you shoot them a DM and you say, "I live in Seattle. I wanna try your jeans in person in a small boutique. Where would you recommend?" They can tell you where to go. So that's a top and a bottom. I will also go to Ripley Raider, which I've talked about a couple times. Um, I found them actually because the algorithm targeted me so hard with the brand, just thinking I would love it. They weren't wrong, but it's amazing. It, like, is designed to mix and match. There's all these separate pieces. They're super wearable. When I was in New York in February nope. What when I was in New York in September buying for February, I really felt like the demographic I sell to, 35 to 75, I really felt like we were missed in the marketplace by so many brands. I felt that there were all these dressy top brands, and it was like all these boho, balloony crop tops for a
Mhm.
whole lot of money. So we're targeting 22-year-olds for a $250 blouse. It didn't match to me. So when I find these brands, I really hone in on them. Some other ones that I would recommend looking into, Bella Doll is great for blouses. They also do great like denim shirts that are just super
Mhm.
soft, luxe, easy to wear. Nothing you can tell actually on their website and on their models which ones are cropped and meant to be cropped for a younger person and which one, like, I'm just gonna show you. I've got this gorgeous black blouse. Like, this is meant with a woman in mind. It's sheer. We're gonna do it with a tank underneath, but this is meant for an adult person. Um, Another great brand, is Rami Brooke is one of my favorites. Now, there are some of her styles that definitely gear younger, but it's a huge brand, and I'm able to find these really elevated pieces with my demographic in mind.
I love that phrase because I think that it's talking about like someone who has experience and it's someone, who's been through some things and, maybe things don't look like how they used to look. But the thing is that a woman is like, whatever happened this week, in the elections, a woman is a pretty powerful person. And, feeling powerful is important and having clothes that are designed with that in mind, right? Accepting you so that you can be you, I think is an important thing. You actually mentioned something that I didn't think of in my questions, but now it's popped into my head. Travel. What do you recommend in terms of, let's say, like, if I'm flying to New York, I'm on the morning flight, and when I land, I'm basically unpacking, taking a shower, and going out to dinner because I've lost 3 hours. How do you like, is there a certain, like, packing approach or certain materials that travel well? Like, how do you think about that?
So just packed 3 leather jackets for 2 days in Boston. I'm the worst packer, but, you need a different color leather jacket. I am a
I mean,
problematic
you're in
person,
fashion, so
sometimes
we'll
yeah,
let it slide, but
yeah, I know. No, I actually avoid, like, a black silky fabric. I find that shows every wrinkle. So even if I wanna be nicer, I try and do another color or a pattern that won't show a wrinkle as much. But the other thing you can do, and I try and be good about this if I'm packing the occasional item, like this satiny tank that I have right here in black, I will
Mhm.
fold it nicely in my jeans before I fold in my jeans, and then I'll roll my jeans. So
Oh, wow.
I know, a little bit of trickery, but it keeps it from sloshing around. Because some of these more delicate fabrics, the fact is you put something on top of it, you don't notice it's moved, it's scrunched in a ball.
I'm just gonna say you should do, an Instagram reel on this.
Uh, on myself packing.
No, on, like, that little
Yeah,
tip.
that no, that I could do that because it really is something, but then there's other fabrics that just generally pack better. If you go with 100% cotton t-shirt, it's
Mhm.
going to pack better, but then is it also the look that you want? So it's figuring that out, but it's
Right.
making sure your clothes are going to stay smooth in whatever case, however you do it. Like I know for some people packing cubes help because they can get their like silky wrinklies folded really nicely so they're not gonna slide around.
Mhm. Okay.
It's really hard, the straight from the plane, especially after that cross country flight. What are you gonna wear that you're comfortable in? A lot of the jeans are definitely more comfortable than they used to be. So you can find something like that and then, wear an easy blazer, wear an easy t-shirt that has a nice luxe texture to it and you'll still look nice.
Mhm. What about some of the tops that you showed, like, from Ripley Radar and everything else? Do you think that those travel better, or how would you?
Yes. So this pant from Ripley, the one I'm wearing, and then the one this bolero is made of, it packs perfectly. Like, you can almost like shove it in a ball and it won't wrinkle. Don't do that, but like it's pretty close to that. And then some of the ones, like a textured blouse right here. Like I've got this gorgeous one from Sanctuary. This will fold and pack really nicely. You won't be able to see any of those details. If you wanted to wear it on the plane, like say back to the Ripley pant like I have on, then everything you have on is stretchy and comfortable, but looks really nice and elevated.
All right, well, This has been awesome, Ariana. Is there anything else you wanna, like, tell the masses in terms of myths or whatever it is in terms of, dressing 40 plus and feeling hot and confident?
Yes. I mean, I feel like I could wax poetic forever about this. Own who you are, where you are right now. And like, yes, that is easier said than done, but come in with a state of acceptance because I feel like the more we fight the state that we're in, the harder it is to actually feel good. Accept it, dress for it, or plan for it, or whatever, and then make the changes you want. But it's nearly impossible to make any changes from a negative space. I didn't used to be like this. And, like, not even from any of my own changes. I just feel like COVID somehow made me a more positive person, that closure, that feeling of connectivity, accepting things day to day. That resonates today, but accepting things day to day and making the changes for tomorrow and only for tomorrow, that is, like, one thing that I wanna hug people who are going through these changes and struggling and that I see them. I don't know if the other side is today, tomorrow, in a year, but, like, let's work on making you feel good today. That is one thing, but another big thing, shopping online is gonna make you feel like garbage 9 times out of 10. It just is. It's too hard. You're not the size 2 model. I'm not the size 2 model, and I feel this when I try on clothes for the store's Instagram 5 days a week. I am not a size 2 model. I'm like a size 6 not model, but I'm fine. Like, I'm very okay with who I am, and not everything looks good on me, and if it doesn't, I don't share it, and that's okay. But, like, I often feel that people react to the clothes on me because I'm a real person. You can envision how it looks on you based on how it looks on me, especially if you've come in and you know me. But let's not hold ourselves to an unattainable beauty standard, which is what we see when we're shopping. And so it's so frustrating if you order 3 things and you hope one of them is gonna work and they're all 3 sizes too small, well, then you're discouraged for another week. You don't even wanna look. So that's why it helps to get out in person, especially if you're learning a new body type for yourself. You've gotta get out, you've gotta try it, you've gotta see it in person. Oh, and
That
can you tell I
Oh,
can you
good.
tell I have a lot to say? Always. And just because you tried on a s a trend, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna use wide leg jeans. When they first came out, people would put them I would show them to someone, they'd say, "I will never." And then I'd show them to someone the next time they came in, and they would say, "I will try them. I'm not there yet." And then I would show them to someone the 3rd time they came in, and they would then buy them. So I think it's because something didn't work on you once, doesn't mean you can never try it again. Be open each time.
Well, the other thing is that a person could have been in a different phase in their life than when they came in the first time too.
Yeah,
And so it could be that, you know what, they have a new job, they have like a new type of position, or maybe they've gotten divorced recently and they're just
right.
like, hey, I'm going to be dating and I want to,
Yes,
try some new things.
different things serve us for different days and different parts of our lives, and, like, we're allowed to change our mind on things. I think that's something so often in all facets that we forget. We took a stance on something, so, like, that has to be our stance forever? No, it's okay. You can change. We're allowed to grow and evolve, and so you're allowed to like something even if you said 6 months ago you never would.
So let's say I'm posting this on LinkedIn and there's a lot of guys on LinkedIn and they're trying to buy their wife a piece of clothing for the holidays, right? What advice would you give someone when they're buying a piece of clothing for their partner?
Okay, you've gotta sneak into the closet first. I want you to hear when she says, "This is my favorite pair of pants." Go into the closet after, take a picture of the inside tag. I'm gonna want style number, I want brand name, and I want size. Because then you go somewhere else, you go to shop, and the salesperson can take that information and use it. So do that with bottoms and with tops. I need you to know the size. You can't look at one of the people I'm working with and say, I think she's about her size. Like, that doesn't work. Come in with hard facts. I need a picture. I need data, and then we'll do it. But, like, also get a gift that you're excited about giving. So it's like, don't say, "I don't know, maybe this black sweater, I guess it's fine, it's her size." Like, be excited about giving it because then we can all feel that excitement receiving it and, like, wanna wear that article of clothing. But, yeah, my big advice is come with the data. Know her size.
Come with I mean, there's camera phones. There's no excuse now.
Exactly, there's no reason you are guessing her size.
Okay, and then the next question that I have is around colors,
Okay.
right? How do and particularly with tops, because there's a lot more variability with tops and colors. Because most people, blue jeans are blue jeans, you have black jeans, and maybe some variability. But tops, obviously, there's a lot more variability with patterns and color. How do you kind of approach that with people? Are there like things that are like, hey, don't do this in terms of colors and whatnot?
I think again, like, I hate hard and fast rules anyway. So I think you can't say like, you have brown hair, you can't wear black. That's a thing I heard once when I was in high school. I was like, that doesn't make sense. I think it's not ruling anything out. Now, different than me saying like try trends with bottoms. If you're not a floral person, you don't have to try flowers on. That's okay. You don't have to make a pattern yours. But I think even the color people struggle with the most is the ivory, the beige, the cream, vanilla family. Even if many of those colors don't work for you, you can still try on a piece if it's a top that you like, because maybe it's just that right shade that has just the right deepness or just the right softness that will work with your skin tone. So, kind of, if you like it, if you like the idea, it's okay to try. But, like, so don't rule out an entire part of the color wheel because your mom told you you can't wear ivory when you were 7.
That reminds me, when I first started working, so I was working in New York City, and obviously outside it's like hot and humid as fuck.
Mm.
And inside on the trading floor and on all the floors, it's really cold. Like the air conditioning is just cranked up. And I would be wearing like not my summer suits. And my mother would be like, "You can't wear that suit now." And I'm like, she's like, "It's summer." And I'm like, it is so cold
Right.
on
Like,
the floor.
and it's all these old things that we heard. Ooh, you can't wear white after Labor Day. What year is it? I don't care where we are in the calendar. If it is, I think it hit 70 today in Michigan. Like, I don't think I'm hitting white jeans now, but like through the month of September and even into October when it was still so hot, go ahead and wear your white jeans. Even more so before Memorial Day. Like, if it is 95 on April 15th, your white jeans are fine. Those are some things we need to throw out. The other thing is, like, I so often hear, "We can't wear black and brown together." That's my favorite color combo. I love mixing black and brown. I love mixing black and navy. Like, these are these old-fashioned rules that someone read in a Cosmopolitan in 1952 and has beaten in from generation to generation. Let it go. Just because your grandma said it doesn't mean it's true today. So if you like it, wear it. There's no hard and fast rules like maybe there once were.
You know what? It's okay to take your grandma's matzo ball soup recipe, but maybe the fashion advice doesn't carry as well.
No, I mean, I look at my mom, she's 74. She's like so gorgeous and young. I look back at pictures of my Bubby at 74, also gorgeous, did not look young. That's okay. We like treated ourselves different. We treated aging different. I just turned 40. I remember being at a 40th birthday party with all the balloons like over the hill and like your life is over now. Nobody treats 40 like that anymore. I don't feel that way. Yes, exactly. Like, oh, you know, 40, you just had your second hip surgery. You shouldn't run again. The surgeon told me I can. So, like, let's throw out all the old wives' tales we've heard about all of it. It's different. You've got going back to, like, dress for your body, dress for your taste, work out to your body, eat for your body's needs, everything like that. Like, I think we've lived so long hearing these things that just don't need to be true anymore.
I love all this. Well, Ariana, this has been absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate your time, and I want to make sure you get home in time so that you can get into your hunter green and cheer on your Spartans. So, thank you so much for joining the Go Long Show. We will have her contact information in there, and we'll have all the brands that she talked about when we publish this. So you should see it when we send this out. And I'm just going to say that Go Long is about living your best life, especially over 40. You can live your best life. It's about empathy, pragmatism, and optimism. And I think on this call, we talked a lot about all of those things in terms of empathy for, like, hey, your body doesn't look like it used to. But pragmatism, it's like, hey, it doesn't have to be. And here are some great brands and great tips that you can apply when outfitting yourself. And then optimism, that you could still feel confident and hot and whatever it is, how you want to feel. And there's a lot better technology in clothes than there was even like 10 years ago. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. And with Go Long, remember, it's your life. Go the distance. Go long. And thanks for joining us, Ariana.